All right, so I want to officially welcome you guys to the AMA today on the Beehivecolony. I am your host, B, and today we have an amazing project. Just to give you a bit of an intro, the Label2Earn project is helping artificial intelligence grow faster, providing accurate data sets for artificial intelligence systems to be used offshore in pretty much every futuristic technology. Self-driving cars, surveillance systems, machine learning, and all of that stuff. So, but we have a spokesman here. So without further ado, I don't want to do so much talking. I'll let YYZ 88, who is a spokesman of Label2Earn, to do justice to that. So great to have you. So you are the spokesperson. What exactly is your role in the team? When did you get into cryptos? How did you get to the part where you were interested in supporting Label2Earn? Yeah, just tell us a little about yourself.
Okay, thanks for having me here. And yeah, crypto, I start one step earlier. Let's say I am, since the beginning, let's say I can say I'm interested in, let's say, in business and money and exchanges and all these kind of things. And it took me quite a while to get into crypto. Was a bit skeptical. Had some friends who had some negative experience in the very beginning. So I started basically just sort of a year ago to get involved into crypto. One part which really interested me was all the play-to-earn movement last year. And then basically at the next step, all those move-to-earn projects. I got involved in one of those move-to-earn projects very, very early on, and I was able to help them to develop this. And I saw a couple of issues with these kind of projects. Usually the reward system, well, it drains your wallet, it drains your liquidity, and you need to find resources and ways how to feed these the rewards for the holders. And in one investment club, let's say in a group, I came across Label2Earn, and I found it just fascinating how the team has actually solved this issue of funding the rewards by letting the community creating something which is valuable for the outside world, where the outside world is paying real money to acquire the data which is generated by the community or by the holders, and in this way makes the outside world basically pay for the rewards. This is totally unique. I haven't seen any other project making this so far. And that got me fascinated, and got me in contact with the dev and the team. And here I'm thrilled as well. They're so transparent. They're so dedicated. Haven't met any other team like this in crypto. Full transparency and commitment, listening to community, taking proposals and suggestions, seeing to make it work. And they're not working for their own pockets. They're working really for the community. That's what I love. And that's how I fell in love with that project. Said, okay, this is something where I can sign up, can use my name and my efforts, and can support that. So that's why I'm here.
Great. Awesome. So that makes you part of the team. You
officially I'm not part of the team, but I say I'm the spokesperson of the team, so I'm okay with that.
Okay, great. And you're doing a great job actually doing that. Is any member of the team that you would like to recognize?
So
you want me to unmute or something?
We have LTE owner here in the group as well. I don't know whether Hussein wants to say a few words or not.
Well, okay. Right now, everyone is pretty much muted. So I believe that if they want to say a few things,
they will raise their hands.
Yeah,
right?
They're going to raise their hand. I could just immediately.
That's fine.
Great. So that's about you. Very impressive. Understanding that you got into the project from that place. I mean, you love the project and you jumped in on it, and it has been a jolly ride since then. How about the founder, the owner of I understand, and I just before I let you speak, I understand he's a professor of artificial intelligence, and that
Yes.
makes him in the very best position to lead this project. Just tell us a little about his
I
background.
mean, yes, and this was just yet another, let's say, very thrilling thing for me to see, to have someone with a PhD in artificial intelligence leading a project like this. So he's coding since, 20, 25 years, and he's researching artificial intelligence models, and he's publishing. So he's publishing in scientific papers his work, and I mean, who else is better, let's say, destined to lead a project like this? So when he develop, let's say, some artificial intelligence model, they always came across, let's say, the issue they don't have enough data. They don't have enough data to feed these models. And basically you can say garbage in, garbage out. So basically you can have a nice program model, but let's say if you don't have the right data to get into, you're getting the wrong results. You can imagine this like Google Maps. If you ask Google Maps, drive me to this and this place, and they don't have the right place programmed, or they get fed, let's say, wrong information, where your favorite pizza shop is, and then you want to go there and they guide you somewhere else because the address was wrong. So you need the right data in the first place to feed those systems in order to get good results out of the AI systems. And basically that led him to think how to find, let's say, a good big community to create these data sets. And Web3, crypto is such a platform where you can find those people, where you can reward those people with cryptocurrency. And here I'm already touching a little point about the community is creating the data. This is combined into the data sets, and those data sets, they're in high demand. Companies or universities, research institutes who are developing these artificial intelligence models, they're lacking the data sets, so they're ready to pay for data sets. And the holders of Label2Earn, the community, they're creating that. So Label2Earn is basically right in the middle between the customers who need this and the creators of the data. And the customers who need these data sets, they would be paying Label2Earn to get the data. And this money which is generated there is going back to the holders as rewards. So the reward system in Label2Earn is not financed by a buy and sell tax or by an expensive NFT, which you have to buy right in the beginning and then hope to get some money back, but it is financed basically by the external customer.
Okay.
I was actually wondering whether I can share my screen here.
You can do that if you want
Let
to.
me just see if I can. I'm not using my laptop here. Share screen. Okay. Get here. Can you all see this? The website?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good. So I want to show you a few things that say later on. It's probably easier to show instead of, let's say, talking about it. So one of the questions which wasn't asked yet, but I guess, let's say, is in everyone's minds, what is labeling? What is labeling? And what sort of data do we speak about, actually? And jumping to this, can you see did the picture change for you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So labeling is basically drawing a line around an object, a defined object. And then basically, like this dog here, we need hundreds, thousands of pictures of dogs, for example, in order to build into a certain artificial intelligence model. And the users are provided with pictures. They have to draw these lines around the designated animal, plant, object, whatever it is. Another group of users will verify that it's really accurate. And accuracy is another thing which is very important for those AI models. That's that garbage in, garbage out. And then basically all those pictures, they are making up data sets. And these data sets will go into a marketplace, which will be then available to companies and institutions that say who need these this data, who need these pictures. And let's say you wonder how easy or difficult it is, let's say, to do images like this. I just quickly did yesterday here, or actually today, I did one of those. I have a 98% accuracy, which is okay. It's not 100%, but let's say it's useful, at least, let's say, to do this. And the more of those pictures I label, the more of those images I put the line around, the more I can actually then get as a reward for my effort. We have a little calculator here as well, depending on your wallet balance. Let's say how many tokens you have, what is your user level? So I'm a beginner, so I'm at level 1. If I've done more of those pictures, if the other team members basically have verified I'm doing a high accuracy, I'm moving up the level. And depending on how many images I labeled or I verified, the earning amount changes here. And obviously, see, the more tokens I have, the more I'm earning. If I have a better user level, it's higher earnings as well. And that's per day, actually. So as you progress in the system, you can actually earn more in the Label2Earn.
Okay. So you kind of moved a little fast there.
Sorry for that.
Yeah, but right. So I'm gonna let us summarize so that community understands exactly the train of thought. So the basic idea here is you're getting community of holders to produce accurate and large sets of, for AI systems, and providing them the opportunity to earn by using the project websites and Python codes. There's that part where I'd like you to touch on. I know it's a little complex. You said you're not exactly skilled in that aspect of Python, but I saw it somewhere in the website.
Yes.
What is that all about? I thought this was just to simplify the whole process to just labeling, and just, a 9-year-old could do that. But there's the part where we have the Python. What is that about?
Okay, you summarized it very well. Thank you for that. I should have started off with this. And let's say the Python part, I would exclude this a little bit later, or exclude this a little bit. The users, the holders, don't have to be knowledgeable in Python. Python is a programming code, let's say, and this is used in order to run apps or to develop apps. And right now we are on a website here. Next steps, or one of the next steps will be, let's say, to develop an app and have this app run on Python, basically, and enable people also to label, on the go, on their phones and everything. So the Python part, this is more for the dev and his team, let's say, that are using the Python, and the users, the holders, don't have to be knowledgeable about it. We don't want to scare anyone away here with some computer coding stuff.
It's typical for crypto projects to have all of that staking, and people could just sleep to earn, by just being holders. So do you require that holders are active before they earn, or do they have to label? I understand that for an audience that are graphic inclined, they could actively do that and probably be experts in your system as they scale up. But how about people that just have the money and just want to hold? Can they earn without contributing to the labeling process?
Okay, so for the time being, we don't have a staking platform available. There are plans to have one. In the very first stage, we need users to label in order to build this the data sets. That's one thing. So that's why I say we're focusing on rewarding the active users in labeling in order to create the data sets, in order to sell them, and to refund basically the reward pool. The holders who would not be actively involved in the labeling, they would benefit from an increasing token price at the very beginning, as the customers need to buy the token in order to pay basically for the service and pay for the data sets. So, in short, we don't have staking it now at the beginning. There are plans to have staking available for the holders as well.
Okay, great. So I think while we were speaking, I just saw Nice Grips step in. You must recognize Nice Grips from the Crypto Clubhouse. Nice Grips, how are you doing?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm doing fine. Big Bros, how you doing?
Yeah.
YYZ!
Hi again.
How are you doing, brother?
Busy.
You know,
Yeah, same here. It's so good to have you around.
I was only telling YYZ I recognize his voice from the Crypto Clubhouse, where we interacted, and it was such a great time. So, welcome back.
Yeah. Thank you, brother. Nice one. Yeah, I'm just here at the background listening.
That's great. So, YYZ, you mentioned that this was born out of the need to feed artificial intelligence systems, right?
Yep.
Are these data sets necessarily cut out JPEGs? Do they have to be JPEGs? I understand the different applications of artificial intelligence as is used in health systems and what is that? Selfless driving. Was it drive? No.
I mean, we probably, if I may interrupt you here, let's say we probably think about artificial intelligence always something very, very science fiction like. But a lot of artificial intelligence is already available. So if you type, let's say, a search into Google, let's say, and Google already predicts the end of your search sentence or so your search phrase, that's already artificial intelligence. It's like gathering data, predicting what you would actually type in. And let's say, taking the example of Google, they're pretty good at this already. Struggling still, let's say, on the graphic part, on the picture part. When you see self-parking cars or things like that, they need a ton of data. They need a ton of initial data sets. And here we use the images, the JPEGs, they say, and build those data sets. Give you another example. Let's say there's an app out there. You scan, let's say, a plant, and that tells you what kind of plant it is, or whether you have to water the plant or not. They need all the leaves of those plants. Somewhere they have to come from. They need to, a small leaf, a young leaf, an old leaf before it falls off the tree. All those have to be labeled with the right kind of tree, for example, so that you can tell the app, okay, if you see this picture here, or if you scan this picture here, this kind of leaf, then this is this kind of tree. And all this data needs to come from somewhere. And this is basically what Label2Earn is producing, as you can say.
Great. In that case, you might have to do, what is that? Label millions of images, to feed the system. Now I understand how that it's only okay to engage the power of community and trust that as that community grows, you could have enough data to feed the system. I get that.
Right. And let's say we all have, let's say, kind of special interests. One is more into automotive, the other one is more into nature, the next one is doing this and that. And we can see that different groups of users are sort of specializing in certain aspects. Let's take, let's say, medical parts. We probably need at a certain point of time as well people with medical knowledge to label certain pictures of, let's say, the skin, where, let's say, an AI program could predict, let's say, some skin diseases. Of course, someone needs to label those before. Someone needs to see, okay, this one is this and this and this. So that's why, let's say, taking the example of the botanical aspect or the medical aspect or technological aspect, so everyone can contribute something to the label to earn here with a sort of special knowledge. And we might even think that certain expertise areas are higher rewarded than other ones.
Yeah, that is cool. I think that it's important that people really understand this project because I have been in the community, even trying to be of help. And I noticed a few people coming in and thinking that you're building a graphic application, and they're quick to say that, okay, you have a target audience and it's just the graphic inclined people. But I like the fact that this is broader and it's just, the project is merely trying to get more people to do that simple task, and it's very easy. And 9-year-old,
right. And I have to say, I'm not, let's say,
inclusive.
yeah. And I'm not, let's say, a graphic person at all. Let's say after doing this a couple of times, I'm reaching quite high, let's say, scores here, depending which tools you use. Whether you do this, let's say, on a laptop, on a desktop, let's say, with a mouse, whether you use a iPad or whatever, a tablet, and you use a pen, you get different accuracies, and you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and it really isn't that tricky after you've done 3, 4, and let's say, of those images. And we can see, how to say this, as also some kind of community projects, let's say university students, or it's basically open for everyone. So if any kind of region of this world, let's say, any kind of background you have, it's something very exclusive, definitely.
I'm just thinking, just very curious, how images have to do with selecting, finding music online, movie recommendations, because that's an application of AI. So
absolutely.
Something like that.
Yeah, and as I said at the beginning, let's say somewhere this initial data needs to come from, and that's basically our job to create that. And let's say rewarding people brings people on board, and let's say there's basically no hurdle or very little hurdle, and enables people to make an extra income. Okay, if you see $1 a day here or $1.50 a day, that's small money in some countries. It's a lot of money in other countries, and this is basically with crypto that's enabling everyone to participate in that and contribute development of let's say better AI systems in the future.
Great. If you get my question, I'm really trying to understand, because this is very visual, and we're having to prepare the data sets, cropping, marking out, labeling these images. How does that have to do with, sound? When you have to look for music online with using that artificial intelligence systems, how does that feed the sound industry? If you
okay,
my question.
Yeah. Sorry for that. Yeah. We're here, let's say, speaking about a static image. The next level would be videos and voice as well. So I'm not a good singer. So if I would, let's say, sing a couple of tunes, let's say, or a couple of notes, let's say, from a certain song, a good system could recognize what it is. Someone needs to feed the system. What are these notes? What are these songs? And match it up, basically. So here, again, stage 1, we have a static image. Stage 2 could be videos. Stage 3 could be voice as well.
Okay, great. Great.
And I mean, for voice, for video, for images, let's say, the need is there. So probably images, there's already quite a number of imagery around. Let's say video even less, so there's enormous potential for growth.
Great. A lot of community thinks that it's really about drawing and marking out stuff. And you have talked about how that it's all going to transform, and you're just basically starting out with the drawing and marking, cropping images. But how do you intend to reorientate the minds of the community, more like educate them, voicing, for instance, and taking voices for the data sets? How do you intend to train them? That's the question.
Mm-hmm.
What structure do you have in place?
So happy you're prompting me with training. Still taking the example here of these images, have to go back to the static images. What we're doing here, redrawing these green lines with the red ones, this is training. So we need to train the community in the first step in order to be ready for the second step, which is then basically getting an image, I would say a naked image, no lines or anything on there, and then basically the instruction, okay, crop out the dog, and they would do this. We need to pass that training stage in order to be able to create an accuracy of these images being labeled. And as we progress, for sure, some people have it easy, let's say, to crop this out, and some people will struggle. And let's say there are some ones who are really more interested in, and some less. And those who are more interested in, let's say, they can be developed as well into for the videos and for the voice recognition. So I think there will be, as I see it, let's say in the future, some subsets of in the community, some more, let's say, for the visuals, some more for the voice, and these sort of things. So how would you imagine this? You could see a voice file, and you would have a Word file, typing the text in, or you would have a Word file and convert it into text or into voice. So this is still something which can and needs to be developed. And as I said, we're starting low here, let's say, with these static images, but there's a long road ahead. And let's say we're just starting here, and lots of opportunities coming along the way to develop videos and the voice and so on.
Sure.
Can also see, let's say, then basically, if people for voice, whether people are excited, whether people are positive or negative, this is something which, how to say, could be another label we could attach to a voice file. So that an AI system would predict, okay, this guy is getting angry, he's raising his voice, he's getting agitated. So then we can do this, right? Other things where we can implement or where it's needed, you're ordering over the phone from your favorite restaurant. So right now they have a person there. A system recognizing your voice, what you're ordering, well, needs to be trained and needs to understand what kind of a burger is there. It needs to be polite, let's say, to respond to you, and needs to understand basically whether you're happy or not. But again, for all this, for all those models, you need data to put in, and we are creating that.
Awesome. I think we're all curious because it's a very interesting project. And I already see how eager the community is even to ask questions. The questions are really endless because it's really interesting. So don't mind the ton of intricate questions that are coming in. All right, so
yeah, we can get very enthusiastic about this here, and one thing I have to say, we didn't even speak about tokenomics. We didn't speak about things like that, and let's say in the KYC and these things. I don't know whether you want to delve into this as well, or
yeah, sure. We're going to get into that. I mean, these are standard questions, and that we could always get from the white paper and all of that. So, but you're going to have to run us through that. I was just going to get through to that tokenomics, tax structure. I see that you have a very low tax structure, 3% buy, 6% tax. What's the rationale behind that?
Okay, so now we're going to the hard stuff, to the facts and figures, right?
Yeah.
Quoting here from the white paper as well. So, a total supply of 256 million token. We burned 10% initially, let's say at launch. And basically, we have the pre-sale obviously going on starting tomorrow, and we've got locked tokens here. And you see the first category here: 20% of the tokens are locked. Basically, those will be released over time to reward the users, the people who label, and then we have obviously, let's say, team and marketing tokens and tokens which feed the ecosystem. So paying for marketing, paying for partners, getting kickstarted, basically the first customers and so on. And you're asking about a tax structure. It's pretty small here, so we keep a small tax. As mentioned in the very beginning, Label2Earn, we don't want to charge people with a big entry tax or a big exit tax to feed the reward pool. We have this let's say we have this reserve here, but in the end, the customers should buy tokens of the market and by this feed the reward pool again, and of course also make the tokens more scarce and increase the price. So we have a 3% buy tax, 1% is going into liquidity. We have 1.5% going for marketing and development. There's a lot of development going on, going into video, going into voice, going into the development of an app. And we have, let's say, 0.5 competition. What is a competition? So we have an automatic, besides all the Label2Earn part, we have an automatic buying competition. So the contract will recognize the biggest buyer, the biggest buying wallet in a certain period of time, let's say an hour, and will reward this biggest buyer with the money which was collected, let's say, during this period of time from the tax. So if I'm buying over the next hour multiple times, the contract recognizes my wallet, makes all the calculations, sees, okay, this wallet has bought the most of the tokens, and I'm getting as a reward, let's say, this little, let's say, percentage here paid into my wallet. So it's basically like a permanent buying competition. And just to take this up front, we have options to detect any kind of misuse, and to switch this off, we might prolong or shorten, let's say, the period, and just to avoid, let's say, anyone is exploiting the system. And we have, let's say, cross wallet and sell 6% tax. Again, for the sell, there's going something to liquidity. We have an 1% auto burn, and feeding the marketing and the development wallet as well. So much about the hard technical facts.
Yeah, the reason why I asked about the low buy and low sell tax, because I mean, sometimes large taxes only help to sustain the project, making more funds available in the pool. And
absolutely, and this is what is let's say usually first building up and then killing, let's say, all these move to earn and whatever to earn projects. They try to lure people into the system. You buy in. If you're early enough, you're making a good benefit. But then at a certain point of time, they're running out of options for rewarding the holders. So the rewards go down. And let's say then they're raising the sell tax to penalize people who want to get out of the system. We don't have it that way. Basically, you're free to come and go, and the rewards, should not be paid like in a Ponzi scheme from new users or leaving users, but by the real customers. That's, I think, what really sets the whole project apart from all the other to earn projects.
Yeah, sure. And coupled with the fact that you have a service that clients are willing to pay for, that brings some income to the project. And but I was just asking, for now that some are trying to understand exactly what AI is and how the nature of the service that you're bringing, and you are yet to secure all of the partnerships that you need and clients that could pay for your services. I was just thinking that if you wanted to start with a high tax, just a fee for that from that and make the system a little sustainable. And as you get more clients on board to pay for your services, get to scale that tax down. Do you understand?
Yeah, I get this point, and this was definitely a consideration. We choose the route basically to have the reserve in the tokens here or reserve tokens for rewards for the users. We want, let's say, the holders who believe in the project. We don't want to, chain them in by a high tax or penalize them if they want to leave, let's say, with a high sales tax. It's more like, okay, we need people who believe in this. There is a huge and long-term future for the project. Definitely, there's more and more needs for it. I have also to admit, let's say, it's probably not a project for people who want to see 100 or 1,000 X tomorrow morning. That's not going to be. We need people who believe in the concept. We need people, let's say, who are interested in the development there. We're needing people who want to earn from labeling and who want to be part of, let's say, the science fiction future in a way, let's say the AI development. So that's why we decided against, let's say, the high tax. There is, on the other hand, the option to change the tax if there ever would be needed, so we can increase or decrease the buy and sell tax.
Right. So we have it's a long-term project,
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, sure. And you're clearly saying if you're just in for the pump and dump, this is not the project. This project is very futuristic, as well as even for now, you could start earning. I understand on the website that you could start earning when you connect your Gmail.
Yeah, that's another nice thing. Basically, we're all about security as well. Let's say people get scammed everywhere, so you don't need to connect your wallet to. Let's see, I can show you this as well. So you don't need to connect your. Sorry, here we need to go. You don't need to connect your wallet. It's basically, you start off with. Oops, sorry, what happened here? So I just created this, let's say, dummy email address here. So you use an email address. You can use a burner email address, whatever. You get an ID. Don't really need this. You see your token balance if you put your wallet address in here. But again, you're not connecting your wallet, so no one is able to drain any of your tokens out there. And you see basically how many images I already labeled for this. So yeah, you can start labeling already. You can try this, and it's counting your images you labeled.
You said you don't have to connect your wallet. How then do you get paid?
Okay, if I put a wallet in here, in this field, then basically the system recognizes, okay, with my profile here, this wallet address should be rewarded for those amount of images.
Okay.
Yeah, understandable.
Yeah, I get that.
Okay.
All right. So, I think I'll just a few was that marketing plans. What marketing plans
Yeah.
do you have? Pre-sale is tomorrow. I get that.
Pre-sale is starting tomorrow. We are on pink sale, so the link is already up in 22 hours. We're looking for 150 BNB. Small cap is 75, obviously. You can see all the data in here. And we are reaching out right now, doing AMAs with different groups. And we then have the pre-sale going on, hopefully filling very soon. And we then have, let's say, 24 hours. We'll launch 24 hours after, let's say, the pre-sale is finished. We use these 24 hours, to sort ourselves on one thing, and on the other hand, to create more demand, obviously, for the token, for the project. Everyone who did not get into the whitelist and everyone who did not get in, let's say, into the pre-sale, should be then buying, let's say, off the market, and for the early holders, that should be a benefit definitely as well. We're using these, let's say, 24 hours for creating basically additional hype, some more call groups, and trying to get, let's say, CMC and others done in this period of time.
Sure. So we're expecting some of the peak callers probably after launch or something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, if you shoot everything out before, let's say, the pre-sale, then you often see, let's say, a dump. Basically, people are expecting more demand, people more hype. But I have to play this game a bit. So we do a bit, let's say, before the pre-sale, bring the right people in, and then basically create further demand after the pre-sale closes, and to have basically people buying off the market once we go live.
Great. I must say that there's such a great team that you guys put together. I recognize a few members of their core team. I understand that Ash is a marketing expert in bringing all of the experience from that use on. They had a huge success on their pre-sale, and I really think that this is very positive even for the team.
Yeah, and one thing I mentioned briefly here, but let's say, so it's quite clear. Let's say we are audited. Let's say we have an audit. We are KYC'd, and let's say the owner, the dev, is fully doxed. Hold on, it's okay to share here his LinkedIn. So Hossein is, let's say, on LinkedIn, everyone can look it up. Let's say you see what he's doing, what he's done. Let's say all his, not here, but let's say you can see his publications. So fully transparent team, very reachable. Whenever there's a question, let's say in our main Telegram, see to get back, let's say, to the community with a precise and good answer, very involved, very close to the community. Honestly, that's what I like, and that's why I'm supporting that team as well.
Yeah, sure. Worthy to mention that. Great. So, right, I've taken so much time. I've just, I don't know if you touched on everything. Is there any feature about the project that we missed? Before we get to the second part of
we see to get the project started off. We've got a couple of more things in the pipeline and development. Let's say there's an app, sort of. Let's say we mentioned, let's say we could go to video, we could go to voice. The other part, let's say, which is, we could also see that we bring out a couple of NFTs. And let's say not to feed the pool initially, not with this intention, but rather, let's say, to enable interested users to earn multiples. So you can imagine, let's say, you buy an NFT with a blue pen or a red pen or a green pen. I'm just trying to illustrate this a bit. So the blue pen gives you 1.5 times, let's say, the rewards. The green one gives you 3 times the rewards. So there's huge options still, let's say, for this further development. And also users could be rewarded by specific NFTs, which give you, let's say, multiples for being especially accurate or especially knowledgeable in a certain area. And with this, they have a chance to earn even more rewards than the average user. And I guess we touched upon most of it. I think we were jumping a little bit back and forth. Sorry for that. I hope you were able to follow me. But looking forward to your questions from the community, I guess.
Oh, great. All right, great. So it's time for the community to ask questions. Just raise your hand. You know how it is. Raise your hand if you want to speak, ask your question. When you're picked, just unmute yourself, ask just one question, and make it really brief. I actually spent too much time asking a lot of my questions, so it's all right. If you want to ask a question, just raise your hand. And then a PQ. Okay. There are a lot of hands raised right here. Hold on. Okay. Rachel, you're allowed to speak.
Good evening. Bye for us.
Rachel, good evening. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Yes.
Thank
I can
you.
hear you.
Okay. Hello, YYZ.
Hi.
You have interesting project, but there are many branches of artificial intelligence, including interactive machines or with limited memory, or that depend on the theory of mind and many other mechanisms. So my question is, will the project database be expanded continuously in the future to keep pace with everything that's covered by artificial intelligence? And how will that be? That's my question.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. Let's say the topic of artificial intelligence is so vast, and then let's say we can't really grab it because we go one step further and we see, there's even more. As mentioned earlier here, we start off with an easy to understand task, the labeling, and we grow into next steps. I think we have the big advantage of Hossein being really in the forefront of research and being linked up with other researchers, with other scientists, on seeing where the whole development of AI goes and what is needed. You can almost say that it's a bit of an insider information, saying, okay, developing the projects, you see, developing models, you see what is lacking, and you see basically what would be the best marketable commodity. And the commodity being the data sets which the users are creating. So there, as I said, we are pretty well connected to the customers and to the researchers. And I'm sure, let's say, the team will observe this and see to develop the project further into the directions which are needed and most in demand in the future. Hope that answers your question.
Okay. Yeah,
You okay with that,
you.
Rachel?
Thank you, Boyford. Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you for that question. Thank you for that. We go with, I'm going to ask, not seen this name before, Caddy. Caddy, you can speak. Caddy, you can speak. Caddy, you have been muted. All right, so Caddy isn't speaking, so we have to move.
Can you hear me?
Probably have to go. I can hear you. Ask your question.
Okay, so my question is, I just want to know how you plan to sustain this project in the near future.
Oops, it's a generic question. Sorry for that. Caddy, I think we talked about sustainability, so I have to pass. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to ask Vincent to ask this question. Before that, please, no generic questions. Before now, we told y'all to get on the website, do your research. So we want to have creative questions, suggestions that would get the team thinking about, getting better. So, yeah, Vincent, you can ask your question.
Hello.
Yeah, Vincent, how you doing?
Okay, you hearing me? Yeah, good. Are you?
Yeah, can hear you.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. Yeah, thank you very much. My question is literally based on the marketing aspect. Yeah, because this is not my first time getting to know about this project. I think they have done an Amazon somewhere in Pixel also. I want to ask what are the marketing plans for this project? Can they assure us that this next pre-sale is gonna be successful? Like any partnership with many countries, with many companies that will buy the labels and all the things they have in plan for this project. I don't know. They should explain more about the marketing and partnership.
Okay, it was a bit tricky to understand. Let's say very quiet, but let's say I think I got it. Let's say the question was about the marketing and let's say the customers, who is buying actually the data. So the marketing, as mentioned, let's say we're reaching out over the next few days and in the future as well, through further call groups, through other influencers, basically speaking about the project here in the crypto space. We see to collaborate as well, with real world groups in a way to say. I personally see opportunities to bring, let's say, students on board who are probably not yet in crypto, but let's say this is a nice additional income to supplement, let's say, their studies. They're knowledgeable in a certain field, and they can, with this label to earn some extra money there. So marketing, I would say, in a classical way, going out to universities, speaking about AI, speaking about, let's say, what you can contribute here, and enabling you to earn something as well. So this is basically marketing towards the users, holders, or future users, future holders of the token. And then if we speak about the customers, and here we speak about a wide variety of customers. So you have research institutions which need data to create models. We have companies, AI companies, who need specific data, and let's say they're getting a request from a company to develop, I mentioned this, let's say the app for identifying the plants. So it's great they have this job, but they don't have the data to feed their models. So they need a specific set of data, and they can reach out to us, and basically we can custom data sets and can ask our users to create these custom data sets to fulfill what the others actually need to build this AI model. And here again, the question is, how do we reach those customers? And there again, the network of the owner and the dev and his colleagues, he's connected and integrated there. So he knows basically who are the companies, small and big, who are needing this data. I think it's fair to say that there are discussions about customers and then discussions about buying data from Label to Earn ongoing, but it's a bit like chicken and egg. What's first? Do we have first all the data sets and then go out to the market and try to sell those data sets? Or do we get first, let's say, the customer, and they have a specific request and say, okay, I need these, again, going back to these leaves from the trees, we need this specific data, and can you get this to us? So this is going a bit hand in hand. There are discussions ongoing. And obviously, let's say once there is a contract signed, an agreement reached, this will be shared with all the holders. I hope that answers the question.
That's great, man. Thanks a lot. I would have asked one other question, but I don't want to. It should
Oh, yeah,
be.
just one question. But I wanted to really elaborate on that question because I think that's a great question that he asked. I want to think that there has been a pre-sale before now. I think the question also is about what different are you doing? What marketing plans are you having in place now to make it work? Because there has been a previous pool.
Yes, we did not speak about it. I'm happy to share the info. So, Label2Earn, let's call it version 1, launched in beginning of May, and I guess most of us, we rather want to forget, let's say, the beginning of May in terms of crypto development. It was not the greatest time. And how to say, we're in a way double unlucky, let's say, launching. So we launched the token. We had a pre-sale, we had a private sale, pre-sale that worked well. We unfortunately had, let's say, a bot sniping all liquidity just, let's say, after launch. So we had to pause trading. And beginning of May, markets were red. Everyone was, let's say, high risker. And basically after this halting of the trading, people got nervous once we resumed trading and just sold off the token, taking losses. And since then, I would say the whole crypto market, except last couple of days, really went downhill, difficult market conditions, so that we could not, bring the dynamic back to the version 1 token, and decided for basically a relaunch with the version 2, which we're speaking about right now.
Okay, this is the version 2.
Yeah. This is basically a V2, yeah.
All right, great. And sure. All right, thank you for that question, Vincent. I don't know if any of the BeeHive admins, Dante, Critical and Claim, Holly,
Yeah.
Keith, Lyricist, want to say something?
Thank you very much. YYZ, no matter how often we speak, there is always new things to learn about Label2Earn, and that is one beautiful thing with AI. And I appreciate the fact that you came around. I want to try to bring together some pieces. I crop an image using the AI technology you have in place. You spoke about the possibility of having text to voice, which you're looking forward to seeing in the future. You spoke about sound, music, I suppose. And I was then thinking, what are the possibility of also using this system to have to create sound? Like you can create sound on your own and use it for content without having issues with copyright. So sound that will be Creative Commons and all that, and also having voice over, like you spoke text to voice, having pre-recorded voice over or my voice over that I can use and synchronize it to any of this image I'm cropping out and probably use it for content. And that is if it is possible for these images to be animated and all that. I don't know if there's any possibility we could be seeing this too.
All right, so Label2Earn is focusing more on the first stage, the creation of labeled data. The second stage is then developing the AI models, which do exactly what you described. So if you, can imagine a pre-made voiceover, for example, again, this information, this data needs to come from somewhere. Where does it come from? Can come from Label2Earn. The model then, which is basically calculating and predicting and suggesting your voiceover in this example, this is, I would say, the second step. This is our customers who will program these sort of things. And that's why basically we are more of the data provider. We are more of the input provider. We are not the ones who create the AI models to predict things.
Yeah, I understand that. So will you be having the platform set out for investors to do this? Like within your platform, they can actually provide you with that data, like the voice over, and you obviously the ones you're comfortable with, these ones can be taken, and you have them filled up and all that, and be able to provide it to these companies or institutions that will want to make use of it.
So basically, after we've labeled sufficient data, we will have the marketplace here in available. So imagine you're looking for a certain kind of data to predict this. You will be able here and pick and choose basically your data sets, and you will be able to buy the data sets. If you want to pick some like pre-made data set, if you want to have something very specific, then basically you would, in brackets, order this from Label2Earn, and Label2Earn would do this for you.
Great.
Okay. I thought you were still talking. Oh, that is fine. So you're offering the opportunity to investors to provide you with this data, and you in turn you're providing this data well packed to institutions that will be needing it and all that. So that is beautiful. That is beautiful, and I understand that. So I was just like you mentioned, if it's going to be different stuff and all of these other features will be introduced. That is beautiful. So you not only have the opportunity to label in, you could also provide data in other fixed sets in your ecosystem and also be opportune to earn from it. I think I understand that.
Yes, right. But let's say this is for the time being not yet in place, but might be then in the future. As I said, let's say there are so many opportunities to develop this project further.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Thank you first.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, Naya Scripps. Amazing contribution there. Label2Earn is very unique, and you could earn money as you feed the system and be part of the future. Awesome project. So I think we're going to take two questions. Our time is fast spent, but they say that you're having fun when. Time moves really fast when you're having fun. It's a very interesting project. So, Dante, you have a question?
Yeah, hey, Breakfast B, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hello, yeah, with Dev, YYZ. How you doing, man?
Great. Enjoying the time with you guys.
Yeah. Going through your white paper, you say your user very started earning the token. Wow, that's quite fascinating, man. So you said your user can literally earn your token by just engaging with your website, and you actually give an instance where you said you cropping of images on your website. Now, does this project has a mobile app where we can export images we want to edit before editing them, or the editing will be carried out on the website alone? Because the part where pictures can be edited on your project to earn your token will be very, very important and very interesting for people, When it comes to experimenting, exploring your ability to edit images, people tend to usually derive joy in such projects. And me personally, I like exploring pictures, editing pictures, and making sure that I make the best. And when I can do that to earn a token, I feel I'll really give it a shot, my best shot. So, is there a medium where we can export images online, or we do it on an app?
So on my end, let's say the connection was not perfect, it was sort of interrupted a little bit, but I hope I got this right. So for the time being, you are able to use the website. So through any kind of browser, you can go to the Label2Earn website. As mentioned, there will be a next stage. There will be an app developed, let's say, which simplifying basically the use of the platform, so you don't have to go through the browser. In terms of exporting the images like those here, I actually don't know. Actually, I didn't come across, let's say, that question, whether this would be downloadable or not. So for the time being, how it works, you actually label the image. That's basically my zebra, which I done. And once I'm done, basically I'm submitting, and it goes into the database. And then, let's say, a second set of eyes will verify that I really cropped the zebra and not, let's say, the fence here. Don't know if I got the question right, but let's say if not, please, let's say, reiterate.
Yeah. You actually
talking about, yeah, great.
You hit the point a little bit. But it seems you did not get exactly what I'm talking about. But I feel that when you can actually tell us how to export pictures online to explore the website, the process of exporting pictures, when we have pictures in our gallery we want to work on, and the process of exporting it online to have it worked on, edited on your AI. That's what I want to know. That's what many people want to know.
Yeah. Just before you respond to that question, I think you're also speaking about that being able to, if somebody is already proficient with editing softwares like Photoshop, is it possible to take images that are given to us on the website to export them to external apps to do the cropping and bring it back import it back to the system?
No, not at the time being. And I mean, I've spoken, let's say, a couple of times now here how does cropping works, and I'll just try to see whether I've got a relatively simple one. I just take another second here. Let's say how to show you how to do this. This is like you take your mouse, click there, go here. So it's very, very easy to use. You don't need, let's say, a sophisticated, image program or anything. This is just, let's say, with my mouse, not very good here. So, and then you just continue this. You don't need to export it and make it super hyper precise. You see here, let's say, the cat, and there's a bit of a space there. Actually, those images are coming from Microsoft Coco, which is, let's say, one of the bigger AI databases or image databases. You see the quality they have here. We use them for training purposes, right? I'm just redrawing the lines here. That's not very accurate. I mean, it should go down here and here and here and here. So the model which can be built out of it, let's say, show me a cat head, will show me everything, including, let's say, the space here, including the space here. So this is a level where we are at right now. If we can get this better, we will have better predicted, let's say, outcomes. Sure, if you have, let's say, a better model, a better system to work on this, you get better croppings. But for the time being, this is totally sufficient, and you can still zoom into the picture and you can zoom out, and that will give you sufficient accuracy.
Is that okay, Dante?
Yeah, I'm okay with it already. Thank you, man. Stay safe.
Okay.
Good project, man.
Can I jump in?
Yeah, sure. Critically acclaimed, you can ask.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity. I've been following the project, and I checked the website also. It's a nice project, and I believe, just thinking deeply, I feel the number of tokens you have, if you will actually pull the how will I put it? If you actually pull users towards your website, like you have the great number of people that will come and want to come and put their data into the system to gather a very greatly numbered collectible. I don't think you have the number of tokens that is sufficient enough to go around, because 256 million tokens might not be enough at a point, and you intend to burn in time. Do you want to use your token? Do you want to issue decimal tokens to people, or you have a way of incorporating coin for people that will participate, so they will need to convert their coin to token at a particular coin level? Is it what you guys are putting together, or you are giving out token direct?
I love the question. Thanks for asking that. So first saying, the number of tokens is fixed. 256 million minus a 10% burn, that's it. There will be no additional tokens be issued. Never. Let's put it this way. The amount of tokens you get right now, let's say the beginning of the program, of the project, for labeling, I'm just saying a stupid number here. Let's say you get 10 tokens for one image. These 10 tokens, let's say the more people actually buy into the project, the more people want to do this. We will not be able to pay 10 tokens per image in the future anymore, because these 10 tokens will suddenly be, let's say, $100 worth. Today, they're way less worth, but let's say as the value of the token, the individual token, will increase, the number of token rewards will decrease, the value in dollars will be probably static. So the number of tokens, does not really matter where we define it, whether it's 256 million, whether it's a billion, or whether it's 100 billion. It doesn't really matter. We will then have to issue 0.2 tokens to you as a reward, for example, because these 0.2 tokens, they might be of a value, let's say, of $10. So we will not increase the amount of supply. And we will have to deal with, let's say, 0. something tokens in the future.
I get you. I understand you now. Like, basically, because if I'm starting now, I will not sell my token until when it gets valuable. And at that time, it will be going to the decimal level of value. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I asked the question, because if I'm actually earning 10 tokens now, I would not sell it, because I know that the token is going to be scarce at a point, and it's going to drive value for me.
Absolutely.
That's the reason why I asked the question.
Very good. Yes, I mean, absolutely. Let's say the 10 tokens you earn today, let's say they're probably worth $1. But let's say in half year time, these 10 tokens are way more worth than the $1. Because there's more demand for the tokens, because the companies have to buy the tokens, and let's say because of the auto burn. So yeah, definitely worthwhile not to switch back these 10 tokens right now into USD or whatever you want.
Again, the last question I want to quickly ask, is there going to be a peer-to-peer kind of transactional escrow service on the portal, so that people that are not actually crypto inclined, if they want to sell their tokens to people that are crypto inclined on the space, just to get maybe gift card or to get something to represent the value of the money at a point, is there going to be something like that incorporated in the near future? Because that is what is going to make people rush down to the website, because they know if we are earn token, I can dispose it right on the platform immediately and earn some more, and dispose it immediately and earn some more, without using wallet or going to Pancake Swap or all those itty-bitty stuff. Is there going to be
again
payment
very
peer-to-peer?
Again, a very, very good question. I love it. With this project, we can target people outside of the crypto universe. And there are lots of hurdles for people getting first time into crypto. And if we lower those hurdles, then the more people will adopt it. So for the time being, there is no such thing. But if you don't mind, we take this as a fantastic suggestion and let's say an idea which we should think about, let's say, and implement probably down the road to make it even more easier for people who are not so crypto inclined or linked, let's say, so much, that they will be able to earn, how to say, dollars or whatever currency in a way indirectly by using the system. Thanks for that question. Very, very good.
Well,
Yeah, thank you very much.
thank you so much, critically acclaimed. Critically acclaimed is a data analyst, very brilliant fella. Awesome question right there. Thank you for that. So I think we just, is it okay we take one more question, YYZ?
For me, it's fine, yes.
Great. I mean, it's very interesting, and it's the only reason why we're taking this much time, because, I mean, it's very interesting. So, Sujay. CJ's hand is raised. Your hand's still raised. Just one more question. Sujay, you can ask your question. Sujay, you have been unmuted.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got muted back automatically. Yeah. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, we can hear you, man.
Okay. Yeah. So, yep. So my question was, outside of the blockchain, who are kind of the current players, not into the AI systems, just into the data set collection and providing the large data sets to people who are in AI? Who are kind of those players, and what is that market size in terms of revenue generated? And what I kind of wanted to know from that question is, where do you, or how much of that market do you see your project capturing in, say, a year or two, realistically? Again, in terms of revenue.
Okay, that would be definitely a question rather for our dev. I used to know, let's say, the main competitors. I mean, there, Microsoft, as I mentioned, Microsoft Coco, let's say, is one of those, let's say, bigger player or big players, let's say, obviously. Kaggle is another company, let's say, which is providing data sets. I'm not informed about, let's say, the size of the market here. It's huge demand. So that's the only thing I can say right now. We probably can get back to you after the call, see to get you, let's say, the answer posted in our Telegram as well. There are, how to say, lots of companies involved. None of them is involved in crypto. None of them has, let's say, solved the major problem. The major problem is to find users who are spending their time in labeling. They're all struggling to find enough people to label hundreds, thousands, or millions of pictures or images. And they're all struggling to recruit these little armies, basically, to do this. And none of them has gone into the crypto space. So we're, in this aspect, truly unique in opening up this market there. And we're pretty sure, let's say, to carve out a sufficient market space in that area. But let's say for precise numbers, we'll need to get back to you.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. I'm in your TG, so I can check it with you there. Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sujay. Excellent question right there. Sure. For more clarity, you could always visit the community. Very open community indeed. You're going to receive any form of help to your concerns. Just feel free to ask your questions to and somebody's going to attend to you. So I think that's the
only thing I would ask, let's say, is a bit of patience. I mean, we're basically working on 3 different continents, but Yeah, not all the time everyone is up and running, but let's say within a day we definitely come back to specific questions.
Yeah, sure. The community is very responsive. Like they attend to questions. I noticed that. So if you didn't have the opportunity to ask your question today, you just do well to visit the TG and be attended to. All right, so I think that's the much that we could take for today. Such an amazing time on the VC, getting to know the project, Label to Earn, and we want to thank YYZ and the CEO, Label to Earn, with us here today, even for honoring the invite and being very explicit about the project. Beautiful project indeed it is. A big thank you to you. Do you have any final words you want to relate with the community before we close, or anything that you hadn't mentioned before you want to talk about before we round up?
Well, I can just extend another big thank you for all of you for joining in, for spending all the time here with us. It's a pleasure, let's say, that we were able to explain a bit more the project, very much in depth. I love the questions. Thank you for those. Showing me, let's say, the interest, showing me, let's say, the curiosity you have in your community. I love that. And, well, I can just once again say, come over to the TG, ask any additional question which have not been answered yet. It is definitely, let's say, a futuristic project. It's definitely something with a long-term, midterm, long-term, huge potential. And yeah, join in. See to get a spot in the pre-sale on the whitelist, and we'll be happy to have you on board. And if there are questions, again, shoot us a message, and we'll attend to those. Okay. Thank you.
Sorry before that. We wanted to touch on that, and I'm glad you mentioned it. The soft cap and hard cap is not that much, and a lot of members of this community would be more than happy to want to join in. And so if the whitelist opportunity is still open, can you drop in the group the form so that members of this group can actually participate and may be opportune to get a whitelist?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You want to go ahead?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You want to, because I spoke to the Ash a few minutes before the AMA, and I believe that the team is making available a number of whitelists. So you could tell us more about the number, and then we could just get investors that are interested to get a few of them. How many whitelists do you want to give to the community?
Well, that's a good question. Let's say I'm not ready to decide this. As I said, let's say I'm not really on the team here. The thing is, head over to our TG. There is, let's say, a link basically posted. You go on there, you get your address whitelisted. We still have spaces open. We see more and more demand. Basically, people are interested. I see that I got on my other account. I'm getting, let's say, about 12, 13, 14, 15 messages here right now, getting addresses sent over. So please go the road, let's say, through our Telegram group. On the other hand, let's say we will be right back to you. Probably, let's say, send you a note here with additional whitelist spots. Sorry for not being ready with that. But yeah, there are still spots available. Minimum buy is actually 0.1 and maximum buy is 3 BNB. So everyone can participate, let's say, from a smaller wallet to a bigger wallet. And also did not mention, now as we're speaking about these things, we have a max wallet, so there will be no wallet which is having more than 1% of the total supply. That's taken care of. And can be adjusted downwards as well if needed.
Awesome.
Right?
And sure. And I just feel it's worthy of note to mention that Label to Earn is trending on Pink Sale. Trending list. Please go to pre-sale page using your different devices and interact with the link.
Thanks for helping out there.
Yeah, sure, to increase the ranks, right? So I guess the team would get back to us shortly after the AMA and how many whitelists we have available, and we can just go over to the community and that kind of thing. Sure. So wanted to mention before we close that the Label2Earn is giving what $100 to the community, and $50 is going to the questions that were asked, the very intelligent questions that were asked today on the AMA, and 50 is going to the Big Fund. And for those of us that don't know about the Big Fund, it is an investment fund of the BeeHive community, which is made available to diligent Beehivers that seek to invest in heavily vetted, highly prospective projects, but are restrained by capital. It's the first of its kind. We like to say that. We actually give community the funds to invest in projects like yours that are very highly prospective to start the journey to make wealth. So we are appreciative of that donation, and trust that other devs, as they come on the AMAs, will make such donations to incentivize more, people that are interested in investing in cryptos. All right, so we urge investors to check out the links I'm going to be posting shortly. Any links other than what we'll be posting are a scam. The pre-sale is already around the corner, so there are a lot of scammers. Be aware, right, so that you don't fall for that. All right. I think we've come to the end of the AMA. Thank you for your participation, guys. Everyone, Nice Scripts, thanks for hopping in from the Crypto Clubhouse. Every admin right here, thank you again, YYZ. Thank you so much to the Label2Earn owner being present with us from the start to the finish. I want to say thank you and hope that we're going to have an awesome pre-sale. Looking forward to that. So, see you guys.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Let's have a good pre-sale and a good launch. Thanks.